The fear of being average is not a personal failure. It's a sign that you care deeply about living a life of meaning. There's a voice in your head, isn't there? The one that tells you you're falling behind, that whispers that a normal, comfortable life is a life you've failed to escape. It compares you to the lives you see online and tells you that if you haven't done something remarkable, you've wasted it. But no one ever stopped to define what average actually meant. Because the truth is, everything you've been told about being average has been a lie. That feeling was never about the life you live. It was always about something much deeper than that. What if that voice isn't you? What if it's a glitch, a ghost in your own machine running an ancient program that no longer serves you? A program we need to find, understand, and finally rewrite. This feeling, this undercurrent of anxiety telling you that a normal life is a wasted one, has a name. Some psychologists call it Koinophobia, the fear of living an ordinary life. It's the reason that even when things are going well, there's a deep dissatisfaction that lingers. You check all the boxes, get the degree, find the job, build a life, and yet it feels hollow compared to the grand adventures you believe you should be having. But this feeling isn't born in a vacuum. It's amplified by the world we live in. Social media has brainwashed us into believing we should chase unrealistic perceptions of success. It feeds us a curated stream of everyone else's biggest wins, creating a breeding ground for comparison where our normal, everyday reality feels like falling behind. The baseline for a good life has been completely warped. Exceptional has become the new expected. And you start to feel that if you're not having a life-changing year every year, you're failing. And that's the danger. This creates a paradox. You have the ambition, you can see yourself succeeding, but the pressure becomes so immense that you freeze. The fear of not being remarkable becomes so paralyzing that it ironically pushes you toward the very mediocrity you're terrified of. You get stuck, not because you lack ambition, but because the ambition has become so tangled with your self-worth that any step that isn't a giant leap feels like a step backward. And slowly, that constant pressure turns into chronic anxiety, stress, and burnout. So why does this fear have such a powerful grip on us? It feels personal, like a unique flaw, but it's not. It's a psychological glitch. To understand this, we need to look back, way back. Your brain is running on software that was installed millions of years ago. One of the oldest programs is the drive for survival. For our ancient ancestors, being average was dangerous. In a tribe, standing out meant survival. The best hunters got more food, the most respected members got better protection. Low status could mean being left behind. That fear, the fear of being expendable, was a powerful motivator. It wasn't about ego, it was a life or death calculation. That ancient code is still running in your brain today. The problem is, you're not in a small tribe anymore. You're in a world of global connection and digital abundance, but your brain is playing by the old rules. It sees millions of competitors online and triggers the same old alarm. You must stand out to survive, even when your survival is perfectly secure. This is the glitch, a survival mechanism misfiring in a modern world. This wiring gets reinforced when we're young. We learn that getting good grades or winning at sports earns us praise and approval. These become our strategies for securing love. But as we grow up, these patterns become destructive. They morph into a relentless ego-driven ambition where our self-worth is entirely dependent on outperforming others. Ego follows you everywhere. It quietly disguises itself as an idealized version of yourself, a version that is always smarter, more successful, and definitively above average. And the gap between that impossible ideal and your real life becomes a chronic source of anxiety and the feeling that you are never, ever enough.
This is where most people misunderstand what an average life actually is. You can wake up every morning, go to work, build a family, and still live a deeply fulfilled life. Average was never about structure. It was never about a 9 to 5 or a routine. It was always about your mentality. The fear of being average isn't you, it's a program. It wasn't a bug, it was a feature designed for a completely different world. The glitch isn't the program itself, but its misapplication today. Think about that. This drive isn't a flaw to be eliminated, it's a source of energy to be redirected. The ambition to be better isn't the problem is attaching your self-worth to the outcome. The truth is, the relentless pursuit of exceptional is what makes us miserable. It doesn't end in failure, it ends in something far more dangerous, a life where you're satisfied, but not fulfilled. The real trap isn't mediocrity, it's the tyranny of an ideal that tells you a normal human life is a failure. You aren't just afraid of being average, you're afraid of staying average, and you've been told that any moment not spent in frantic pursuit of greatness is a moment wasted. And the moment you realize this, you take your power back. You are no longer a victim of your own ambition, you can decide which programs to run and which to close. Understanding the glitch is half the battle, rewriting the code is the other half. And it doesn't mean blowing up your life. It's about small, deliberate acts. This is how you truly create an extraordinary life. First, you have to redefine success. Your entire life, success has been defined by external metrics, grades, job titles, income. It's time to take back the scoreboard. Success has to be an internal measure aligned with your personal values. Is it creativity? Connection, peace of mind? A successful day is one where you live in alignment with those values. Did you connect with someone you love? Did you learn something new? Shifting from external validation to internal values is the only way to escape the unwinnable game of comparison. Second, practice presence. The fear of being average lives in the future, in the what-ifs, and in the past, in the should-haves. As humans, we tend to focus so much on the future, we forget that this moment is all we have. The most powerful way to short-circuit the loop is to bring your attention fully into the present. When you're absorbed in the richness of the now, the nagging voice of inadequacy quiets. This has to be paired with self-compassion. Your brain learned to use harsh self-criticism to motivate you. It's time to unlearn that. Finally, embrace small, imperfect actions. This is how you confront the one thing that stops you, your ego. Ego wants you to look competent. It's why we procrastinate. The pressure to be exceptional is so intense that starting feels impossible. It's easier to protect the image you have of yourself than to risk watching it break, so you wait. The antidote is to give yourself permission to be average, to take small, messy actions. Write one bad paragraph, go for a 10-minute walk, send one email. These are small ego deaths. The goal isn't a masterpiece. The goal is to break the cycle of paralysis, to prove to your ancient brain that it's action, not flawlessness, that leads to a meaningful life. The fear of being average is not a personal failure. It's a sign that you care deeply about living a life of meaning. It's an ancient part of our wiring tripped up by the modern world. The truth is, fulfillment isn't found in a frantic climb to be above average. It's found in the quiet, deliberate act of building a life that is unapologetically your own. It was never about a 9 to 5 or a routine or even comfort. Those would not be enemies. It was always about letting those things control you. The goal is to live a life you wouldn't mind living over again, not one that simply looks good to everyone else. A life without regret. If this resonated with you, share your own experience with this feeling in the comments. You'll be surprised how many of us feel the same way.